Howdy, and welcome to the Choose a Happy Day show, a podcast for women who want to up-level their life, manifest those dreams, and just live happier. If you have vision boards, love energy work, are into psychics, and feel you are meant for something more in this life, then this show is for you. Hi, I'm Lorraine Toth, an award-winning filmmaker, author, Reiki master, photographer, and creative genius who also loves to vision board. And I am here to bring you all of the tips and tricks to help you up-level your life. Now let's go and hop on that happy train.
Oh, shenanigans.
All right, so welcome back to the Choose a Happy Day show. My name is Lorraine Toth, and today I have an amazing guest who I have been dying to get on the show. Today we have Chris, the Blue Rose Mister. Oh, so hello, Chris. I'm so happy we finally got you in here in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
In all your fabulous.
Of course. Yeah, we have the rainbow on for you.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Got it. More glitter, more rainbows. Let's go for it.
Okay, and it's Pink Barbie over here. So I met you originally at Samsara, and then I took a class from you, which was Psychic Development 101.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so impressed. And my friend Janae also took the class, and we were just like, wow, we can learn to be psychic. So can you speak on that? Like, can anyone be psychic?
Yes. So, as Katie Manning Hilton will say, we can all do this. I took her class many moons ago, and it's like everybody's psychic, everybody can do this. I started having abilities when I was about age 8. But, anybody can start at any age, whether you're born with it or if you you can develop it too. That's the best part, As I tell everybody though, and I told you guys in class, everybody's different. Nobody's going to be a cookie cutter. And they may give you sight, hearing, and that. They may give somebody empathing, knowing, and precognitive dreaming. Then once you get good at those, they'll give you more. Spirit will never give you more than you can handle.
Oh.
God's guys' beings, whoever you talk to, whoever you believe in, whoever you work with, they will not give you more than you can handle. They don't want to fry your brain like an egg.
Okay, well, that was good. Yeah,
yes.
We all had different, I guess, ways to connect during your class, which I thought was amazing. And then I remember you were talking to your team, you call them. And so how can people, how can our audience build their own team? And team, I guess you would define as your spiritual guides, right?
Yep. So I heard this from a YouTube reader. His name is Ramblin' Mike. I was listening to a reading once, and he called his team his love team. And I said, oh my God, that is a brilliant idea.
Love team.
So I said, oh, cool. It's really good. You can reach out to everybody in one fell swoop. And rather than being having to go individually one by one, you can say, hey, my team is the Blue Rose team. Hey, my Blue Rose team, please help me. Please protect me. For everybody at home, even if you don't know who your team is, they exist, they're there, and they're helping you, and they're making sure you're good. You have spirit guides, you got guardian angels, you got everybody. So even if you don't know who they are, just say, hey, my spiritual team, help me out, or hey, my spiritual team, protect me, or you can even say, even better, you can also go, hey, my spirit guides, help me out with this, because you don't even have to know who they are. They're listening. They'll know. It's all about the intention. So
you can just say, hey, should I go to Costa Rica for 6 weeks? Which is actually a question I asked my spirit guide.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they have to do?
Well, yeah, you can do that. If you're going to do that, I would say do it with a form of divination, so you have something a little bit more. I mean, you can do direct, but if you're just starting out, I would say you could use pull a card for it. You could pull an oracle card. Oracle cards are very good for intuitive reads. You can do pendulum work. There's tons and tons of divination tools that can work for that kind of stuff, where you can get a more solid answer than just waiting and listening. Some of you will probably get an answer, and some of you will be like, yeah, that sounds great. Other times it'll just be like, not. You might be in radio science, it'll be like, not yet, but you'll get there eventually.
Eventually. Okay, and do we have to name our team?
I think it adds a little pizzazz and personalization. When you name your team, I usually would tell people you don't want to like tell everybody, the name of your team for spiritual protection purposes.
Okay.
But at the same point, I obviously shared with everybody.
You just said
So everybody knows my team at this point because I talk about them like relentlessly. So and I love them so much. But at the same point, you usually name your team. You always want to try and keep who you talk to. I wouldn't go be like, oh, I talked to so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so, because for protections. You don't go giving everybody your social security number randomly.
Right. So don't tell the podcast who my people are, like my spirit guides.
Yeah, if you do, you just keep a few back that you don't tell everybody about. So you have cavalry and backup and things like that. So
okay,
it's all good.
All right. So on the divination piece, that brings me to my next question, which I brought with me. And so at our class, he made us all little pendulums. I call it. Is that how you? Pendulums. So this is a crystal, and you wrapped it in rose gold.
It's got gold wrapping on it, and it's a quartz crystal. Quartz is a universal crystal. You can use it to amplify it. Obviously, I'm a little biased. I wear a lot of stuff. Pendulums, you can use anything for a pendulum as long as it's attached to a string. One of my friends who teaches puts a washer on a string, and it'll do it. Because what you're going to try and do eventually, I took a class from somebody, which is why mine will go idle. So when you go to a store and you pick up a pendulum, you'll probably, okay guys, stop really quick. You'll probably have it be stationary like this, right? So you want to go, show me my yes, and it will make some form of direction.
Okay, let's do this together. So show me my yes.
And it's different for everybody. It doesn't have to be universal. And then you go, okay, thank you. And then you go, show me my no.
Do you stop it before you go ask, show me?
Yeah, my team just flies with it. So, they'll just go, they know where I'm going. But then you can have it say, stop, and then you go, show me my no.
Show me my no.
And it'll do another direction or another thing. That'll be your barometer for yes and no.
Okay, so then, my yes and no is like north and south, and my no, my yes is north and south, and my west and east is no.
Yeah. So you're on the same thing with me. Forward and back is yes, and then left and right is no. Oh, thank you guys, very fabulous. You want to keep your hands steady because it's just going to move by itself because that's how that works. Now, mine does idle because I took a class. So then you want to go, if you're at the store, would you like to work with me today?
Would you like to work with me today?
And if it's yours and you've already bought it, it's at home, the answer is yes. I have gone through 8 pendulums. They're like, yeah, I'll work with you in the store, but no, I don't want to come home with you. I'm like, I see how it is. It's totally fine. And then I have a couple that have wanted to talk to me and continue working with me.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's good. If your pendulum's ever acting a little bizarre or off key, you can get another pendulum and check and say, hey, does this pendulum need to be cleansed? And then you can sage it off and stuff like that. So that's one does. All right, thank you guys. All right.
So now that they've chosen their pendulum at the store, now what do they do?
It said it wanted to go home. It said you wanted to work with you. You calibrate it, and it wants to go home. You still sage and cleanse it when you get home.
Okay.
And you can do a sun cleanse. You'll leave the window for like 6 hours or something. Sun cleanses work too. Just be careful if you use crystals because you could bleach your crystals. And you don't. Certain crystals don't do well in the sun. Certain crystals don't do good in water. Saging is good. Just sage it off. Cleanse it of all negative. You can say, hey, whoever you pray to. For me, it would be like, hey, my Blue Rose team, please cleanse this pendulum of all negative, low vibrational energies, entities, and attachments, and please send those energies to the white fire and the violet flame for cleansing, healing, and transmuting. Please, thank you, amen. Thank you in advance, amen. So might be whatever works.
Okay.
It works, and then you'll know because it'll be chill.
And then, all right, so they bought it. They figured out yes and no. They asked for the cleanse. Now they can ask their question.
Yep. Once it's home, it's cleansed. A sidebar of awesomeness. When you are storing your pendulum, I learned this in class too. You may notice I have, it's hard to tell. I have a piece of citrine that I have with it. The citrine will keep it clear. It will still probably need to cleanse every now and then. You can always charge it up on selenite. Selenite is a wonderful crystal that you can use to bring in angelic realms, high vibrations. I use it to cleanse all of my, not to cleanse. It can be used for cleansing and stuff too. It's a very Swiss Army knife crystal. I have bricks of it, like huge logs of it, and I will put my crystals and stuff on it to charge them up, and it gives them an extra dazzle.
Nice.
So
And full moons, are they important too?
You
For
can do
charging?
full moon charges and stuff too.
Okay.
I would say consult people who know more about moons and stuff with that.
Okay.
I'm still learning the lunar cycles, guys. Don't
All right. Well, anyway, I did ask mine if I should stay in Costa Rica for 6 weeks versus the 4. And it told me to go home at 4 weeks. So I wasn't happy with my.
Do you want to receive the message?
Yes, I do.
I get something about weather. I'm seeing like storm clouds and weather and stuff, so it could be that there's a storm that rolls in.
Oh, look at this.
So, yeah, sorry, I'm totally on today, so, don't mind.
Yes. Okay, cool. So you confirmed what the pendulum said to like go home at 4 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, and this is what's known as direct. It's just coming in and boom. I'm not using cards, I'm not using tools. This is what's known as direct reading, person to person and stuff. More times than not, when you're going to be getting a reading from a reader, they'll have, there's everybody from trinkets, you got oracle cards, tarot cards, pendulums. There's so many different divination tools and stuff. I even know somebody who does rock readings, which is kind of unique and interesting. So
Wow.
the world's your oyster.
Yes.
And flower readings are quite fascinating. We just learned about that in Lilydale this past year. There's always a lovely pre-season conference the week before Lilydale opens and stuff. So you can check out the Lilydale Assembly page for that. Dr. Sue runs that fabulousness. And the instructors are awesome.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So my next question for you was, you staged everyone before we walked into your house for the class.
Yes,
Just like before I could even hug him, like I went running up to like,
polite wash. Yes, absolutely.
Can you speak on why maybe people should sage?
So white sage can be, you want to get it through ethically sourced means and stuff, because first of all, I've heard this with dragon's blood trees and stuff are in danger and stuff. I would love somebody to just get like a boatload of acres and just have a preservation, because you don't want to like accidentally, everybody's using it for cleansings and stuff. You don't want to like, farm it out of existence.
Mm-hmm.
Sage is the same way. You want to do it ethically sourced. The Shaman's Market is wonderful. You can Google them. They get it through ethically sourced ways and stuff. I believe there's things about open and closed practices, but I don't remember all about that. So, you can use Palo Santo, you can use sage.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, white sage, everything's off. So, I sage everybody because, as lovely, so if anybody does like
We all
infection,
got afraid.
if anybody does like infection control at home, you want to make sure that you power wash. You want to make sure everybody's nice and sparkly before they come in. And you don't know where everybody's been. Not throwing shade at graveyards. You don't know if anybody's been there. You don't know if somebody's been in a very they're having a rough time, very negative environment, and they may have some stuff or some energy attached there. It's not like, oh my God, attachments or anything like that. It's just, you want to it'll make everybody a little extra sparkly, and you don't want, you want to protect your space and stuff. So it's politely, you always want to sage and do that stuff outdoors.
Okay, so that's why you did it before we walked through your front door.
Yes, I didn't want to do it inside because at the apartment complex I'm in, it is 2 closed doors. If I were to do it outside of my door, if anything was on anybody, it would be running around the entire apartment complex inside.
Oh, okay.
So you don't want to be rude to your neighbors.
Okay, so spray if you have guests coming over to your house, maybe.
You can Palo Santo stick them outdoors. You can sage them outdoors. Whatever works.
Okay.
It just removes all negative energies and anything that they might have around them off. Okay. And it politely leaves it outdoors where it can just go somewhere else.
This
Please.
is perfect.
My team is just like, no. So,
now I had a question that just popped into my mind. Can you do this when you're like dating? Can you like sage?
Dating. Oh boy.
energy
That opens a whole box of worms.
Yeah, well, we won't go there.
But at the same point, if like, for example, if anybody works at like prisons or if they work in like medical or stuff, if you work at hospitals, you're in a lot of energy and stuff. It doesn't mean you're, oh my God, panic, you're bringing stuff home. It's better just to kind of clear off the stuff from work. It's like clearing your work so you can come home. Yeah. You can use liquid sage and stuff. I usually will do, if like I'm going to do like formal, I'll use fire sage and stuff like that. Please use good fire safety and don't burn your house down. Palo Santo, I use Yankee candle lids because I can use it like an ashtray. It works really good for Palo sticks. So.
Okay.
But yeah, basically you're just cleansing off stuff that you don't want into your house. And that's why I do it before classes. It just kind of sets the tone and everybody's energies are nice and cleaned up. So it'll harmonize the energies as well in the class.
Oh, I love it. From a Reiki master standpoint, you're kind of like neutralizing their energy, right? Like, so they're like,
all their chill people, the chill people who are totally good are going to probably get through. Depends what everybody's protections are. And all that stuff, but all the good vibes will come in. You just don't want anything that's like not sparkles to come in. That's all.
We want all rainbows here.
You ever have any problems with that? Just, call somebody who's qualified. We all have friends who can help with that stuff.
We do. And now they all know you.
Absolutely.
All right.
My phone book is open. Please call me.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of, you gave us the literal phone book.
I gave you my personal phone book. Yes. Mm-hmm.
You did. They still exist. It was an energy worker's kind of like psychics and intuitives phone book.
It's everybody who I have been read by, I've had healing treatments by, or I have a phenomenal jeweler. Miss Hart is her name, Elizabeth Hart. She's great. She works out of Silver Shop on J Street. She does custom repairs. We've got Reiki. There's Reiki people. I mean, Zelda's, of course, on my phone book of awesomeness. If you don't know Zelda Hoteling, she's totally fabulous. It's a little bit of everybody, and everybody I can vouch for.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about it. As I tell everybody, you can call everybody and not have to do background checks or shenanigans. Yes. Because I know them enough that we don't have to deal with that.
Oh,
so
fabulous. All right. So my next question was how you said you never want to do the work for them, that they have to do it themselves and they have to learn the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk about this in the healer space?
Yes. So this is going to go to a belief system of soul contracts. So soul contracts are basically one of my mentors is a phenomenal past life regressionist, and I learned a lot from her. So if you believe in the soul contract end of spectrum of things, basically what happens is before you come down, you meet up and you predetermine a lot of stuff, that all the lessons you want to learn and all that stuff. Long list, you come down to achieve certain things. Basically, and then of course everybody goes, oh my God, how am I supposed to know? This is weird because, I don't remember because obviously we're here. How am I supposed to know that? Well, guess what? I just told you. So, yeah, magically you all know, and you that. And it's, even though you're not doing it, this is again why your team is awesome and your guides are helping you and certain people in your life will help you with your lessons. So when I say what I was talking about with you don't want to do the work for them, you can help, you can provide tools, you can do all of that stuff. So, if it was something like, okay, I'm going to go completely left of center here and it's going to be a terrible example. So please don't judge me for this. But, that's a good one. Thank you guys. Sorry,
His team is weighing in on this, guys.
Multi-way conversation.
I'm watching
it's
this,
lovely.
getting some downloads.
Perfect example. Taking your power back. Great idea, guys. So taking your power back. If I were to try and help you, say that there is like somebody who's like completely overbearing or something in your life, and I'm like, oh, I can help with that, and I just do all of it. What will happen is the lesson's not completed because the person didn't do it, and they get to repeat it. So now you've done a wonderful thing. But at the same point, now it's going to loop. Now, does that mean not to help people? Absolutely help people. Be supportive. Help people. We want to empower them to be able to help themselves as well. And obviously, if somebody's in a toxic situation, help them move out of house, whatever. I'm not saying abandon people. I'm just saying on the metaphysical end of the spectrum, you want to make sure that people are also, because once they get through that lesson, another one will come and stuff. So you don't want them to be stuck in you don't want to loop them at like Groundhog Day them a little bit with your lesson because then, it'll just take longer.
Oh, so do you ever get messages or like soul contract kind of like input if someone's just repeatedly dating the wrong person?
So interestingly enough, when I'm doing readings, a lot of my readings are preventative readings. So I'm usually seeing stuff that's coming up.
Okay.
I tell everybody readings are going to be what they're going to need to be, regardless of who you're going to, whether psychic, medium, or anything like that. If you want to talk to past on loved ones or something, call a medium. Yes. Definitely call a medium. But basically, one more time with the question, totally lost.
So you were saying you're like more future.
Yes,
tense.
I'm more future tense. So soul contract wise, I have a card in my deck called Past Life. It's Past Life card basically. And what I'll do is I'll tap in. It sometimes comes up, it sometimes doesn't. It can come up in a reading. This is why I call myself a mystic. It's all spice and all inclusive.
Oh.
I don't like labels that much. I don't. I can do a little bit of everything. Can I do mediumship? Yeah. Usually it'll happen more organically. I'm always willing to try and call somebody. Everybody's like, yeah. So basically, soul contract wise, I sometimes will be able to get some stuff on that and I can see, but that's usually through the Egyptian god Thoth, T-O-T-H. He's an Ibis god. He's totally awesome.
Wait, how is it spelled?
Thoth, T-O-T-H, which is kind of interesting with your
last. That's my last name.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
Interesting, because when I first heard that your last name, I'm like, you're pretty dang close. I wonder if you guys know each other. So,
oh my gosh.
He's all about record keeping and stuff like that. Oh. He's very fabulous. He also can help out with the Akashic. There's a lot of beings that can help out with the Akashic. This is just who I talk with that. So my team will bring in the information, and sometimes I'll be like, here's your past life, boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
And for me, the way that they do it is more times than not, people in your current life you've also had past lives with. It could be in different capacities. Like we could have been brother and sister, or mother and son, or father and daughter, or whatever. It can be anything, and flip, all the roles around. But basically, the past life stuff can come up, and it can be that there's some soul contract sometimes comes up. It's really rare because I usually don't get into the soul contract. It's usually like high level classified. It's not like you can just go into the Akashic records and pop in without someone's permission and read their stuff. There's like 17 levels of security and beings, and there's protectors, and nobody can just waltz in. You have to get permission. So if you want me to try and check, personally, there's a lot of people on that phone book list that are all Akashic record reading people. They're totally lovely. There's people who can do this as a type of reading as well. If you have a specific question and you want to go in, there are people who do generalized past life regressions and stuff too. But you basically, you can check that out, and then I could go in and politely see. Or if you come to a reading and it just comes up, it usually, again, organically will flow.
Okay. So you get more like, okay, in a past life, you were brother and sister, which actually, the true story, that happened to me with a psychic reading. I was dating someone, and they're like, in a past life, you were brother and sister, so you're never going to get married.
Oh, well, that happens,
So,
and I've had, sometimes you have those, I always love this. So if ever get home in fabulousness, if you've ever, met somebody and had an instant connection like this, like you've known them for 50 years and it's the first time you've met them, definitely talk to them and reconnect, because you probably had past life with them. And it's like, I swear, it's like just so easy and so good. It's once you experience it once, it's unmistakable. It had happened multiple times, and those friendships last for like ever.
Yes.
And it's great. And then what happens is, eventually you end up going, and it's like, all right, and then you find out, past life together. A lot were Egypt, a lot were this, Atlantis, Greece, whatever. Galactic even, you can go. Galactic gets really interesting. I'm still learning about galactic stuff on that end of the spectrum. God knows we have all the drones, UAPs, and all that stuff flying around. We'll get there sometime. Maybe another
another day. Okay, perfect. All right, so my next question was, if a person feels negative or heavy energy, what should they do? Because you spoke in class about the black salt and the iron keys, and you said selenite can raise the vibration in a room. So can you speak on that? So maybe someone at home, like they go in, they inherit a house, or their one house, there was a divorce, and it's like heavy black energy.
First thing here, and I'm not, so if anybody ever says your house is cursed and pay them $1,000 a month, for God's sakes, call one of us, because we have to have a meeting because there's some problems. First of all, no. No. You don't want to get, if so-and-so's like, oh my God, you've been cursed, and, you need to give me your social security number, checking account, and your car in order to get the curse broken.
No.
Please, dear God, call someone else. Call me. I'll get you to somebody who can actually check for that stuff. I have friends who can look into that for like 10 seconds, and they can go boom, and you don't pay them $8 million bajillion. But before you go into a house, or if you're house shopping, if you have a friend or somebody who has abilities, or if you just have anybody like that, you should have them come and walk. I just did this recently. I went and walked a house with somebody. And I'm going to just read the place.
So you walk in and you just what? Feel things?
I put up heavy levels of protection before I go in. Protect yourself before you go into the space. Readers and all of us will protect ourselves. We'll be fine. You don't have to worry about us. Ask your team to protect you. You go into the space, and then I just start just tuning in. I say, usually telepathically, out loud, whatever works. I'll be like, help me read into this place, this, that, and another thing. So I just start cranking, and I'm just getting drawn to whatever I'm drawn to. And it was really, really interesting, this last one, because I'm like, all right, all sparkly. And oh my gosh, one room, I was almost levitating off the floor. I'm like, that is some crazy high vibration.
Was it the bedroom?
Funnily enough, yes, it was.
I knew it.
The amount of crystals in that bedroom were interesting. I was like, I was picking up on all sorts of stuff. It was a lovely, lovely time, though. So spiritual property assessments and stuff. I do spiritual property assessments. Shameless plug.
That's great.
But at the same point, even if you have a friend who has abilities, everybody might know a psychic or somebody. Just say, hey, can you come help me check the house out? I want to make sure I'm not getting some craziness. You don't want somebody who's doing weird stuff, or, you've got negative energies there. You can always cleanse a house. There's plenty of people who do house cleansing and stuff. I would say have the house cleansed before you move in, while you have access to it. So you come in and it's nice and fresh, and you can put your own energy into it.
So can you just talk about it's a spiritual
I call it spiritual property assessment.
Okay, what is that? 'Cause
So
I know
basically,
I was in real estate for 2
so
years.
basically, I would come, I'd walk the property,
Uh-huh.
I would see what's there, and I would just go bing, 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 and I'd be like, this is my report, here's what I got. Either sparkles, rainbows, and sunshine, it's super quiet, or you need to call somebody about the thing in the woods out back.
Oh, okay.
Or, there's something here, or it's like, oh yeah, you just got some human spirits, which are totally lovely. Human spirits are great. Remember, guys, human spirits, fabulous Lisa Williams always says, human ghosts, ghosts are basically human spirits. It's somebody's grandma, grandpa, or somebody more times than not.
Mhm.
If it's a human spirit, just talk to them like they're normal. Obviously, be respectful and stuff. But human spirits are easy. And as I tell everybody too, if you have a house that's haunted, get your guest list. You want to have your guest list of who is there. My last house, Victorian lady in the front living room. We had the shadow spirit thing with the white mask upstairs. That thing panicked anytime anybody saw it and flew into the closet. I felt very bad. Poor thing was terrified. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, well, that's running around. You have all of your regular Rolodex people, and then, you have your guest list. So basically, once you have your established guest list, if all of a sudden somebody shows up who's not on the guest list, you go,
So, bye.
who are you? Where'd you come from? And then you can look at who came into your house, where they were and stuff.
Oh, maybe they came in on someone who
They came in on
visited.
somebody who visited. I had somebody come in, so I can protect my house till the nines are done. There's all sorts of protections depending on your faith beliefs. You can have blessed metals, you can have your house blessed. You can go with iron. You can go with selenite. A selenite stick above the door is always a good one.
Yes.
There's all sorts of different protection things, even putting certain plants outside your door.
Okay.
Wind chimes are lovely. It's sound clearing. Always great. You can put them on your porch. There's all different stuff. Doesn't have to be like super like ooga booga and all that. Maybe if you want to. I mean, you can get very zazzy with like evil eye protection and stuff like that. But basically, had somebody cross the threshold of my house, come in, talk for 2 minutes, and leave. I had to cleanse my house. Something had something had come in on them, and because of course spiritual. I mean, anybody who has abilities, we're like a giant beacon of light. And when you click your lights on at home, if you decide to train, or if you want to access your abilities and start cranking it, you end up becoming a beacon of light.
Yes.
You draw light, you draw dark, and then you draw people who need help as well. So what happens then is, of course, there's always the fabulousness of, people sometimes don't know that they have stuff coming in. This person worked in a particular job where, of course, they're going to be saturated in it.
Okay.
And it wasn't a big deal. Quick sage, boom, it's done. Not a big thing. You ever have a problem, call a house cleanser. It's not a big deal. Or you call somebody else, if you ever, please don't burn your house down again. Please, good fire safety.
Disclaimer there.
Usually you want to start from like the bottom, you want to start back. I'm in an apartment now, so I start from the back and I push forward. You want to have a door or a window open because you want it to leave. If you do it and you leave it shut, you don't want to politely have a bee's nest situation. So leave a window or door open where the energy can exit.
Outside. So they need to open a window or a door.
So if we were cleansing this room, we would open that window. We would start back here and we would push that way. And we would just say, only love, light, and peace can enter this space. All negativity and evil must leave this space. Please follow smoke out of this door and out of this apartment. I'm not going to be like, yo, get out. No.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No, you don't want to be rude. Keep it classy. And if you need to protect yourself from negative energy, here's a good one.
Yeah,
this is my
very good.
This is my sphere, not your sphere. You need to leave now. That's it. Simple, elegant, and done. If you're bumping into something, you say it with polite authority. You don't need to cuss something out. Just say, this is my sphere, not your sphere, and you need to leave now. And then you can ask your team and be like, no, they need to go. Out. Please get them. They aren't allowed to stay here. Get them, send them back to wherever they came from. They're not allowed to stay here. Okay. Simple, elegant, done. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I have another question on here. It says, can anyone be psychic? And I know we started out talking about that, but is there a tip we can give our listeners? Like, what can they do at home to make a decision? Like, can they be intuitive?
Honestly, it's a personal decision. A lot of people will have abilities when they're younger. They'll turn them off and then they'll revisit them later. It happens a lot because people will be like, oh, it's not real or this or that. I know of somebody who had abilities when they were younger, went to psychic fairs and stuff. The readers are like, you need to develop. Like, you've got it. You should develop. And then they end up having their abilities go off, and then they revisit it later. And then usually, if you're supposed to be in this line of work of fabulousness, or if you're going to have your abilities on, the universe is going to guide you to people who can help you get your lights on, as I lovingly call it. So, I've had people, universe has brought people to me. A fabulous friend of mine, I ended up meeting at a candle store, and I heard the direct message, get them up and running. And I did. Boom. They've got their team. I was helping them with that. Boom, 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 boom. And they got their abilities on. Was it a little bit slow to start? Yeah.
Yeah.
But what happens is it's a process. You got to take your time, and you don't want to blow out, you don't want to blow the carburetor or something. I have some relevant car reference here.
Neither of us are very.
But yeah, basically, you can start up whenever you want, and you can decide if you want to. I would say a Psychic Development 101 class is a good place to start. You want to have a good foundation because you're going to build up from the foundation. You want to have good protections. You want to know how to do protections. You want to be able to try things. 101 classes, usually like the one that we had. I had it spread out. I usually ask my team what they want to teach. So really, I'm just facilitating what they want me to teach, and they know who's coming and what everybody can do anyway. So I just am tell me that, and I'm just writing it all down. For this one, we had a little bit of everything. We had pendulum work. We did a little bit of direct. We did psychometry. Psychometry is always a good forefront. You can end up going very deep into people's personal stuff for that. You always want to be very ethical. There's no reading on health. There's no reading on death. There's no reading on cheating. No. Don't do the lottery. They don't want to. They aren't going to help you with the lottery. They aren't going to do that. You want to be ethical, and if you end up I can see who's around people, God, goddess being, etc. Have I been asked to check into protections on places? Yes. Do I repeat that? No. You don't want to blow somebody's stuff out of the way. And if you are blessed with the ability to see other people's teams, you don't want to rip the wig off or any of that fabulousness and expose them, because if everybody knows who they work with, if somebody wanted to make it so they could try and get to you, they could try and turn that off. Is that common? No, but it's good form just to be polite. Good form. You want to be ethical, guys.
All right. So if they want to learn and tap in, they can take your Psychic Development 101 class, which is what I took, and it was amazing. And we did learn, what was 4 or 5 different ways to tap in. And I've been since using them. So thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And you get a giant phone book of awesomeness.
Yeah. It's amazing. I can't wait for the second one. I want to learn is the psychometry where you read photos, so it's good for dating.
So,
profile picture.
So I'm single. So so psychometry would be, if you do psychometry, you want it to be a personal object that only you've touched. Because if, say, I were to take your microphone, something like this, if multiple people were touching it, if I were trying to read it and it was at you and maybe, for example, Leia, who's totally awesome, had touched it, I might pick up on Leia's stuff and read her stuff, and you're going to be like, I don't understand it all because it's been touched by somebody else.
Okay.
You can do it with passed on loved ones objects.
We did that.
Reading from photos is just another form of reading. I usually do it with passed on loved ones and stuff. People can do it for all sorts of stuff, like show me a picture of a house, and I can try and go and remote in and see what's going on at the house. Have I randomly ended up in people's houses in the middle of readings? Absolutely. It's usually classics. I usually don't remember anything. My team lets me only remember a few things for this kind of purpose. I call it psychic HIPAA. Katie Mae Hilton calls it psychic amnesia. We all have our things. I'm going with psychic HIPAA, so but I'll see a picture and I'm zoomed in on a corner of a house. Check the foundation. You need to get. And then I had a gentleman once who came through in spirit. Don't remember who he was. But I remember that he came through. And laundry list. You need to fix the house. You need to do gutters. This and that. Why isn't the lawn mowed? Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, so maybe when you put in your offer to buy that house, take off $10,000.
Or it's just, it's really funny because then, of course, everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's him.
Yeah. All right, my last question for you. I always ask this question. What is your recommendation for our listeners to live a happier life?
So to live a happier life and stuff, I would say surround yourself with people who you love, who like going out with, who are supportive, who will raise you up. You can go on random adventures with. Me and my one friend, we're running around doing all sorts of stuff. We went to Lilydale, we go to the ocean. We randomly, where else did we go? Dear God, I ended up going with some friends to Salem. It was lovely. I would say just vibe high, choose your circle well, and, try and keep negativity out of your circles. If you're going to be on social media and stuff, keep it limited. If you want to watch some really adorable stuff on TikTok, you can. Listen to some really good music. Jake Wesley Rogers is phenomenal talent, up and coming rising star. Listen to some good music. whatever it is that feeds you and will bring your energy up. And don't feel bad about taking like a day where you're like, I'm taking the day off. I'm staying in bed. I'm having water or orange juice. I'm having some good food, just chilling on YouTube. Just take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated too. There's a lot of energy stuff happening right now. There's astrological alignments. It's just so much stuff. A lot of people who, quote unquote, wouldn't normally have abilities because they aren't like having, like, you're like, oh yeah, no, I don't have that. Yeah, well, people's lights are clicking on. So, I mean, it's happening. There's a lot of people waking up and having an awakening with their abilities and are like, what do I do with it? Which is another reason why I wanted to have the classes, because it's like we've got people who either have abilities who don't know what to do with them. You have people who want to learn ground up or quote unquote ground up. And you know, the whole point is you want to help people. You want to do good. You want to help people, spread the light. And then once you get your light going good, then you can help other people get their lights up. Lights go up, whole vibration of the earth and everywhere beyond goes up. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, have that chocolate, you know, I mean, dear God,
chocolate. That's a good
double chocolate chip, cookie no ice cream friendlies, always a guilty pleasure. Lovely.
There you go.
You know,
Key to happiness.
don't eat tons, you know, to keep it classy. If you want really good tea, you can get some tea, but yeah, just keep going good. Okay. I'm supposed to mention that. All right. Everybody at home.
Oh, he just got another download.
Polite homework. So if you want an if you would like an energetic, a really good track, it was referred to me by my mentor. It's called Holy Harmony by Jonathan Goldman. It's God's name in, I think, ancient Hebrew, something like that. Basically, it's like a sound healing vibrational thing. Okay. There's like an hour and 12-minute one on YouTube. It can raise it raises the vibrations of your space, can clear it up a little bit. You know, as much as sound can do. You can do more beyond the sound stuff. Helps with healing and all sorts of stuff, but Holy Harmony by Jonathan Goldman is what it's called. So you can YouTube it.
It's like a frequency megahertz
healing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've left it on if I've been feeling out of sorts. I put my phone on like really low and stuff, and I leave it on Spotify and I'll sleep with it on. I'll just have it loop and I wake up feeling supercharged. Yeah. You can also do that with solfeggio, and I don't know how to spell it. Don't ask me how to spell it.
I know it.
But Meditative Mind on YouTube is really good. They have all sorts of cool stuff, but solfeggio frequencies are another thing I've slept to, and it's just good. You wake up feeling really recharged. So.
Okay, there you go. That's a great tip. All right, so say someone out there wants to learn and take one of your classes or have a reading from you. How do they get a hold of you?
So I have a Facebook page. It's the Blue Rose Mystic on Facebook, and you can direct message me there. We can set up a reading either in person. We can do it over the phone. I've got Venmo. I've got many different options for that. You can call me for that. I'm going to have that's my main hub of awesomeness. I'm going to try and have 2 classes a month and a message circle each month. So the reason I call it a message circle is because if I say gallery, I think everybody's going to think it's all mediumship. A message circle with me is usually my team's coming through and telling you whatever it is that you need to, whatever needs to come through. Can it be past life? Can it be, mediumship? It's whatever it needs to be. And it's like mini reads and stuff for everybody in the room in a group setting.
That's great.
So I'm going to have that once a month. I'm going to have 2 classes. I'm trying to start up something called spirituality, which TEA, because who doesn't love some good tea? Everybody can get together. It'll be like probably once a month. We're kind of, it's subject to change, guys. We're working on it. And it's good. Everybody can just come and talk about spiritual stuff. If you have questions or something, it's low key. We can potluck. It'd be lovely. Playing with options here, guys. But there'll definitely be 2 classes in a message circle a month. Okay. All that will be on my the Blue Rose Mystic Facebook page. I do readings with the 3 Fates. That's Tiffany Marie Butler and the wonderful Corby Mitlight and the wonderful Tiffany Marie Butler. I read for the future. Corby reads for the past, and then Tiffany reads for the present. And what we do is we'll have online gallery readings, so it doesn't matter where you are, you can tune in. We do the tickets through Eventbrite, and then we do it through Zoom, and we just go boom, 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 usually 2 hours. We get through as many people as we can. You get past, present, or future, and you just ask, and we go for it. It's
that's so great. You don't even have to leave your house to figure out.
Don't have to leave your house. Yeah. We do in-person ones, but we have a predominant amount of them on Zoom and stuff. Okay. So there's usually a couple a month and stuff, but that's going to be on the 3 Fates page.
Okay.
It's the 3 Fates. It's all linked on my Facebook page. Just go there and everything's there.
And if they're Instagram peeps, they can find you there too, right? Do you want to tell them?
Yep, I'm on the Blue Rose Mystic on Instagram. While TikTok exists, I'm also the Blue Rose Mystic there. I do need to post there more. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying.
It's going away.
Anyway. I think it's going away, unfortunately. But I am working on building a YouTube channel now as well. So, everybody's always said, you should do like online readings and stuff for the signs. So We'll work on that. Keep an eye out for
I'm
that.
going to talk him into that, guys.
On my Facebook page, I have in all my links that has everything where I'm at and stuff. But yeah, I have pinned posts. I have tons of stuff on the Facebook. It's lovely.
And Facebook is where I got in contact with you about the class. So just send him a DM. Be like, hey, I saw you on the Choose a Happy Day podcast.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely.
I want to learn how to make you use my pendulum and read people and get into messages.
Absolutely.
So I don't keep dating the wrong person, right? There you go.
Absolute. So,
well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Woo! And everyone, again, it's Chris. And it's at the Blue Rose Mystic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the Blue Rose Mystic on everything. I even got an email. I'm like, holy Corolla. I'm like, didn't think that Google would be available.
Oh yeah. It's totally available. And for
don't randomly email a Google that says the Blue Rose Mystic. Just call. You can write me and ask about that.
Yes, only Chris. All right. I will link it in all of the show notes so you can get a hold of him and all of his fabulousness. And remember, happiness is a choice. So choose a happy day.
Bye, fabulous guys. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. To stay connected to me, please visit my website at chooseahappyday.com. And at the bottom, just sign up for my email list to be notified of any upcoming events, book launches, as well as new podcasts. Until next time, have a happy day.